Welcome everybody. My name is Arshia, and today I will be introducing our project, FlashFloat. This is a application that allows you to transfer files in a secure way. And we built this project because we saw many issues in the current marketplace, and we thought that we could offer a better solution. So the problems that are faced with current applications right now in the market is three main things I'd like to categorize them into. One is file size, the other one is security and bad interface. With file size, a lot of times these applications, sometimes you struggle with larger files. With regards to security, sometimes your data can be compromised. And a lot of times the interface is not very intuitive, and it sometimes seems intimidating to a lot of people, so they end up not using these transfer applications to transfer files. The solution that we have brought to the table, as I mentioned, is one, being able to overcome this size limitation. We use S3, we'll be getting more into detail with that and how we transfer the file. And second is for security is with encryption. We encrypt, the file is fully encrypted and it's very safe, so we make sure that your data is not compromised. And the other one is our user interface, as you will soon see, Albert will be demoing, is super friendly, and you shouldn't have a problem navigating through it.
Here, as you can see, you have the home page. So as you can see, you don't need to have like a user to start it. So this is the way that you can send a file. I'm gonna choose, for example, I'm gonna choose a full one. I want one with Manel. Yeah, okay, this is cool. Okay, going to send it to this mail, and from this email. There you can see right, for example. So we can send it. It's loading.
Can you try it again?
Yeah, let's try it again. Sorry for the issues, but direct issues. Oh, this is good. Okay. Sending. Okay, and send. Then I'm gonna check my email. Okay. It's not this one, it's the other one. Perfect. So yeah, so I'm gonna contact you in FlashFloat. So then you click the link, it's going to send you to the download page. Now here you can click download file, and the file is going to load. So you can see, yeah, happy. So that's the thing. How it works is that when you add the file and you say download, okay, I'm gonna repeat again. Whatever, it's going to explain how it works properly. The server, okay, sends the file, uploads the file to S3. It's a service from Amazon Web Services, and then with the courier system, it sends an email to the person that you want to send this file. That is what we can see here, and then the other The other person can click to the link, and then it sends to the download page. In this way, the other user can download the file. Well, that's it how it works.
Hello, I'm going to talk about the technologies that we use to develop our application. So our application is a JS JavaScript application. So we used TypeScript for the front end, which is just a superset of JavaScript, and we used Node for the back end with the Express framework. For our database, we used PostgreSQL, and we used Prisma for the mapping. When you upload a file into the application, it's stored on the S3, which is an Amazon Web Service database, and we use Courier for the notification of the emails. We use Bytes to build our application, and we were using GitHub to host our code and for version control and collaboration. Finally, to deploy, we used Vassal to deploy the front end, and we used Render to deploy the back end. We also use Docker, that's where we have our build image. And so basically those are the applications that we used. I could also mention Postman, which is not here, and basically that's what we used for testing. One of the technical decisions that we had to make while developing this application is we have different services in our application. We have the client, we have the server, we have the Amazon Web3, Courier, and the database. And initially, the way we had designed our application, we designed it in such a way that once you upload the file, it goes from the client to the server, and then from the server, then it goes to the S3 to be stored. And once we finished our first sprint, on our second sprint, we had a meeting, and it didn't seem to be a good solution. So it would have been better because there was the file was being sent from the front end to the back end, to the server, then from the server to the Amazon Web Service, which was kind of like it was consuming twice the bandwidth, and it would have been better just to send the file directly from the client to the Amazon S3 Web Service, and maybe you sent the file metadata and the other information to our database. And it's something that when you implement our project with that design, it will be more efficient. But I think because we wanted to go through for a better learning outcomes, we had to do it not like the inefficient way, which is more efficient when you follow the learning curve. I think that will be it for me. Thank you.
So I'm going to finalize by talking about the learnings that we have learned throughout the project. And we have categorized our learnings into 3 categories. So if we talk about the technical proficiency, we were able to learn about the new tools and technologies. I can say maybe almost half of the technologies were new for us. For example, some of us did not have used S3 in the beginning. We have never used S3 technology. We have never used Docker. We didn't have any experience with technologies like Render and Vercel for the deployment. And I can also say we have learned as well in writing tests and debugging. Shout out to our instructor, Edu. He showed us how to do this. And in the sense of project management, we have learned a lot about planning and prioritization. in the beginning, at least the three of us, Archie and Don, we wanted to work together, and Edu and Albert kept saying us, guys, it's a lot of work, we have to divide the work, and eventually we saw that it's important to plan and prioritize. We used Linear for our planning and prioritization, and we had meetings every morning to see where we are, what we're going to do for that particular day, and so on and so forth. We have also learned about time management. We were going a bit slowly in the beginning, but I can say we learned that we needed to speed up and to be able to finish our project. And the last thing I would say was the soft skills and personal growth, and working team in general. We were able to be, we learned about adaptability. So, like I said before, most of the technology we didn't have knowledge with them, and we were able to adapt and learn them and make them in use. And yeah, continuous learning and communication skills in terms of if you have a problem, how to communicate it with your peers and see how to go about it. And our future scope, I would say, so in this project we don't have authentication, so we can possibly have authentication for our app. We can have other features like file resend option if someone would like to resend instead of going and uploading from the beginning. We can have an option of resending it. We can also have an option for file preview, storage plans, for example. If people want to send like a specific size of the file, it's free, and if they want to send the bigger files, maybe they can subscribe to our planning to be able to access that service. Other services like drag and drop, and also possibility of having it as a mobile app, as for now it is only web-based. So to conclude, I would say that when we chose this topic, we knew that it was heavy on backend, and it was a really good experience for us because it was a chance for us to learn all these technologies that we have learned, and it was really interesting, very worthwhile, and we are really, really happy with the final end product. So I would like to welcome any of you guys here physically and online if you have any questions for us.
First of all, congratulations, because I haven't say anything about the time, but actually it's 14:43, so
Okay, nice.
nailed it.
So I've got a question about the project management side. So you mentioned project management and the difficulties that you have found in the project management. So I was just wondering, in a project usually, you've got a figure, which is the project manager or the product owner. You clearly don't have a single figure there. So I was just wondering how you manage that. Do you have shared ownership in the project management, or you selected a leader, a manager within the team that took the project management responsibilities? Thank you.
Thanks for bringing it up, Christian. Yes, it's true. We didn't have a project leader, but every day we were rotating. As I mentioned, we had a linear app that we use it for prioritizing and planning for our project. And every day, someone was responsible or to act as a leader in assigning tasks and making sure that everything was under control. I don't know, but it's a good thing to note for the future. We can elect someone particularly that can be the boss of the project.
So the question that you asked is, I think generally with the group projects, whenever we have the group projects, I think normally Olga is the product owner, and her role is
like in these groups, the product owners are you. Is you decide what to do, what are going to be the features, and basically that is not given in here. Like you were saying that before on the presentation, right? That someone appeared and actually started like doing this thing, and I would say that it would be like a great honor for Edu to be recognized as actually the manager, engineering manager figure, right? That actually guided you through the things. In agile methodologies, yes, the team is self-managed. Okay, it's not, that doesn't mean that there's not an engineering manager that was a figure of Edu that was guiding you through a don't go that way or better that, like, you know, like this thing. But it's also like part of your responsibility. And there are like some people, like usually the seniors or something like that. In that case, like someone like Albert came in that literally was not the engineering manager, but was like kind of the figure of the senior engineer that also practices leadership. Okay.
So Olga asked a wonderful question. The question was that in the design, it says expires in 1 week, but we actually don't have that in our user interface. It says like expires at this date, which is the same thing 1 week from now, but we're very specific about it. Olga's question was, do you guys actually have a functionality where the photo that's, or the image that's uploaded actually expires? And to answer that question, sincerely, no, we do not.
We do.
It was a long way.
We do. Okay, sorry, no, we do actually have that.
Okay, so next question is like, do you actually?
Rita asked how we implemented the expired at function, or like basically how does the expired at work? And this is a feature of S3 where when you upload files, then you can decide how long they're going to be on there for and when they expire. And so basically what we did is for us to be able to display that information to the user, we implemented a function which takes basically converts like 1 week into microseconds, and the moment you upload it, it then computes and tells you the exact time. It will be a week after when you upload it.
So you're saying that if I come to the same page next day, the message will change? Like it should say it will expire in 6 days, then in 5 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, there is an issue here, and I think I'm going to clarify it real quick. So basically the question is still on the expired date, and once you upload a file, then as a sender, it's going to take you to confirmation page. And when you go to the confirmation page, it has the transfer details, and it's going to tell you the exact time that it's supposed to expire, right? And so the information is supposed to be passed to the backend, and I think that functionality was not implemented. So whatever is written there, it expires in 1 week. It was kind of like just a static statement in the design, and so the information that is shown on the confirmation page is supposed to be passed back all the way into the download page. So
Got it. Thank you.
you're welcome. Sorry for the confusion, guys.
It's not really cool.
For the email portion, did you guys use any library, or did you guys have like hard code with? Like, how did you manage that part? I'm curious.
So it's with an API, it's Courier. Do you know what it is? So with Courier is an API that you can use to, it's like a system that you can use to send emails. Then, yeah, what does is this like, you have to set up, it's as all the APIs you have like a secret key. Then you set up with this secret key, and you are able to send email to another person. It's
Would you be able to would you be able to use that Courier API to send the images directly to the email, or it's just like only a link or the wordings that you can just use it to send? Like if you that's like Yeah, like you have the photos, right? But you send it to S3, the Amazon's database.
Yeah.
Can you, instead of that, can you send that image to the email directly?
Oh, yes, but this is like a normal image system. But what we do with S3 is like for storaging for big files. Then if we use like in the normal way that it should use like an image system, what it should do is that maybe you can send so big files. So we did this way to be able to send files maybe of 4 GB or something like that.
But if they were short, like let's say that they were short, that would be like,
Yeah,
like the
you are-
pictures that you're sending.
You're able, I think.
You're able? Like, can you repeat that?
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Okay.
what I would say is that if you are able to send a photo
Yeah, if they were shorter,
courier
yeah, would you be able?
without any other service to storage, I'm not sure. What I thought is that maybe you should have like a service to storage this photo and then send it to this system. It is what I think, but I'm not sure.
Someone said early on that you're not a real developer until you hate Amazon S3. So I was just wondering what your experience was like with it and if you have any advice for people who might work with it in the future.
Brad said that if I can't say any recommendation to all the people that want to use Amazon Web Services,
Yeah.
and yes, I hate it. It's very good. I don't like, I hate it, but it's true that when you learn a little bit how to use it, it's very useful. I mean, it works very smooth. And a recommendation maybe is YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is the best tool to how to learn how to use this service. And that's it, I don't know. I just fight with S3 and finally I just be able to make it work. So that's it. Thanks.
Cool, thanks.
So I'm going to give I don't know if you have heard me, but I'm going to do the feedback. So congratulations, yeah, for the hard work. I would say overall, like nice. You presented like a working application. We had our problems, right, on state, but you presented a right application. All the details that we need to see. So overall, good presentation, good application. Okay, everything working. Congratulations. Okay, now I'm going to go with some details for feedback. Okay, that I think that for giving a presentation, technical presentation, that doesn't have to be like feedback for the presentation of the final of the group project of bootcamp. Yeah, that's applicable to any kind of technical presentation that you do at the end of the sprint, for example, right? And then, first of all, I want to focus. I'm going to go chronologically through the events that happened. So first, the demo had a good theme, I would say. Yeah, I love the thing on the picture, but still, you can give it a little bit more, like, I don't know, special. Why didn't you send it to Manel, or why didn't you pretend it to be Manel that is sending a nice picture to Albert? Yes. So just like bring it to life. I think that you did a good job making it like a kind of a theme, like I'm always asking. But yeah, bring it to life. Yeah. So I know that you are nervous, and for that it's like, well, I'm going to put this input here, and I'm going to put this input here, and this goes there. Empathy. Like the audience don't know what that field is, right? So it's like, okay, what are these two texts that we were sending at the end? Were the title? Whether, like, we don't know if that's a title. Okay, so we have the possibility to bring a title. Okay, so I'm going to put, it's like, hey, check out this picture that we had. And then on the message is like, we had so much fun, didn't we? Right? And you know, all these kind of things. And your guidance in the process on how you would use this. Yeah, so just bring it a little bit more to life. Then there's like a general thing about the finishing, yeah. Like there's I'm sensing a lack of finishing on this application. The design is right, it's on point. If the base is there, I can see that. But then there are like some things that throw you off, like a lot, right? Like seeing like a feedback message that is in black over black or gray over black, which you can barely see on the screen. Like I'm surprised that you saw in there some expiration dates because they were like putting on gray over black, something like this. Right. So all that is saying that there's like just like an empty thing that is like where the logo is supposed to be or something that throw her off. And then there was like a comment by Asha saying, no, that's not the logo. She's the one that is right. She's the user. She's the one that says it. You have been working a lot into that. You know where everything is. Yeah. So if the user says it's a logo in there, there's a fucking logo, or it's perceived like a logo. That's the problem, right? So, and here we're getting more into the design like perspective, and we are not designers, right? But also it's good that we have like this user-centric empathy. Okay, that's right. So it's like, okay, wait. What was there? What is this circle that you're saying? Okay, and then you said it's a logo. Okay, and it's like, okay, all right. Then you go back and it's like, fuck. How do they think that's a logo? Like that's nonsense, right? But then ask yourself why it's perceived as a logo, right? But anyway, aside from like these things, like the black over black, these things, it's like just like little details that I'm sure that you can fix right now. It's like, okay, let me fix it, and I'm sure that you can just type 4 things that is going to at least have a little bit more of contrast. And that's going to be already like it's going to change tremendously the perception of the user about how much quality does this ad have. Yeah? So keep in mind the little details. I think that they are like can make like a huge difference, right? Also, and on the backs, okay, it's like it's fine. You were like just terrified until it worked, and then it's like relief, right? That's not oh, you should have done this, but you could have done this. Okay, you can joke around it, like around these things. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you got like that always happens. Why do you think like the demo effect is a thing? Yeah, it's always going to fail in the demo. Always. Like think about that. Even Apple, this is the company that does the best product presentations, have demos that are not working. Sometimes it happens once or twice, right? So on the demos, these things happen. Okay, you just keep calm, try to do your app, try to redo it. It works, okay? Try to have like, I don't know, select another picture, and it's like, well, it seems like our database is not accepting the face of man, so that's it, solve it, yeah, say, yeah, a little bit, you make the audience laugh a little bit, so, go on.
Also, while you're waiting for the file to upload, if it's a waiting
Keep
time,
talking.
keep talking.
Yeah.
Anything. But
They're saying
like,
when
because otherwise
you're
it
waiting
becomes
for that
awkward.
to work, just talk. No, I'm just transcribing, so you can.
Yeah, so just talk to your way through it. Whatever it is, like you can explain like, yes, and this what is happening in the meantime right now, the file is actually being uploaded to the cloud, and for us to get anything.
Again, all that is saying that use that gap in order to keep talking about this. Like for example, explain what it's doing, what's happening in the background. Yes, and that also can lead you into explain a little bit what it could be happening. Okay, so now we are sending this to the that we're just communicating with the backend, and we're just communicating again with S3. So maybe the connection between this and that may be failing. Let me refresh. I need to try it. Yes, and just fill that up. But overall, good demo, eh? Right, then, when we're talking about how it works and the technology, yeah, explain that with a diagram. And that's cool because there's the next slide has a diagram. Yes, on the following features, right? So explaining the first thing with the diagram. You're explaining how a future feature is going to look like, but you haven't told me how the current feature works. Right? The diagram was meant for the next steps. Tell me how it's working now. So that's something that I usually see and I always have a comment on, and maybe I should, that's my responsibility, because maybe I should also like go there and make sure that you're not doing just a map of technologies, yeah, like a collage of technologies, but put that on a diagram. You can put that on a diagram. You can make like, you see that well, I'm not showing the screen, but there was like this diagram in which you have the client that talks to the server, and then where are these technologies? Yeah? You can embed like these logos in this process. That's going to be a lot way clarifying for all the engineers that we are listening, or for anyone that is not an engineer. It's just like, okay, so that thing, that courier that you say, or the one in finance, yeah? So the courier that we're paying, it works there, right? Okay. It's just curious to see, like, and understand the process. Put everything on its place, okay? Try to avoid just like collage of logos. Collages of logos are for, these are my clients, yes? Like, all these brands trust us. So, aside from that, if it's a system, go for the diagram. And then also, I really enjoyed the next steps slide. That was a good choice, yeah? And that was a good explanation. And also, talking about that, yeah? It's like inside of the presentation, I came here to present you this application, and now I have one slide to tell you what is the next steps, because this is our vision. This is the next step of performance in our application, but this is not still implemented. We're halfway there. It's a proof of concept that has already been proven, okay, and that we don't have on production, because we preferred to have something working today than to be very performant. Okay? Perfect. Great part of the presentation. Great message. Yeah? You're saying that you have a vision, and that you don't only have a technical vision on what should happen or how it should behave. You're saying that you are focused on delivery. Yeah? And that you reduce the scope in order to have something working today. Yeah, that's perfect. Do that in any meeting, in any hiring process, or in any presentation you're doing. Okay? That's a great message to tell also who you are. But what cannot happen is that we are not aligned in the features. Yeah? That just cannot happen. Yeah? It's like, no, this is not implemented. It's like, what do you mean? Yes, it's implemented. Yeah, sorry, it's implemented. Yes, it's like, and then once it's one thing, another, now we have to align at least on the features that we know that they are there, and which ones that we know they are not there. Okay? This should be mandatory. And lastly, when talking about, I'm going to focus on the courier thing. Yes, very good question. It's like focusing on how do you do this, right? And then another engineer is saying, hey, that's very cool what you're doing there. How can I do it myself? So you're teaching now. Just an appreciation, when you're saying courier is an API, we have to start talking like precise. Okay, use the precise words. Yeah? Courier has an API, like your server has an API, but courier is a service. Yeah, so it's a service, it's a product, it's a service, it's software as a service, it's SaaS. That offers you an API in order to just programmatically send mails with the content. Okay, so courier, yeah, it's courier. We're using a service that is courier that has like a free tier. It's very easy to use. They have like a very cool API to use on Express or any Node.js application. So I invite you to take a look at it, right? And then for the second one, hold up. No, I'm going to go with courier, but on the
after you're done with courier.
And then the other question is like, yeah, and it's like can we like send the file directly in the email? And then your response was really good in terms of features. Like that's not my app. Yeah, we are actually, it's not for sending pictures. It's for sending big data, no, like big files. But then you can try to explain how it would be. And it's like, it's totally fair that you say, I don't know, I suppose that it can be done. Yes. But try to step back. It's an email. It's an email technology, right? How you would send a picture on the email. It's an attachment, right? So then try to think about systems. There's a system that you surely know that is the email. So if Courier is a service that brings you the interface to the email part, then you can say, I suppose that we can add that as an attachment. Okay. What I don't know, because I didn't need it, is if Courier supports attachments, and that would be cool to see. Yes. So maybe that's something that we can check, or you can check. Because it's not more of my interest. It's not my application. Yeah. So try to think also like elegantly about these things. And it's like, well, yeah, it's an event, so I suppose. Olga?
Yeah, so I noticed that there was a bit of a hiccup in the challenges slide between Esther and John. My question goes, did you end up presenting challenges without the slide, John? Or did nobody present the challenges?
I kind of integrated with the next slide.
Okay.
So Olga is asking about the hiccup when it was happening in the presentation. That is like there was a slide that actually like you passed through, yeah, and nobody presented or was presented without the slides or whatever. So that was it. The answer was, sorry.
I would say that in the end I mixed it with the next slide. That was
The learnings, no?
the learning.
Okay, so in the end it was mixed in the learning. So the other things were presented, no, like the challenges were presented as well in there. Okay, so that's it. Regards for the presentation. Hope you take the feedback and then you can work on your regular presentations. Okay, right. So.
Hello, everyone. We're Fist Pump. You know us, you love us. It's Rita, it's Craig, it's Mudo online. Hervé had a prior obligation, so he couldn't be here. Martina was also a big part of the team. And you'll get to see the results of her lovely work as well. So this is the app we made. It's called Fist Pump. It is a 360-degree performance review app. So let me talk a little about what traditional performance reviews are and how they work and why you want 360. So in this scenario, Edu is the manager. It was the grumpiest picture of anyone I could find. Sorry, Edu. You did this to yourself. So in this case, let's say Edu is my manager, but what's the problem is that Edu, when he's reviewing me, only has his perspective, right? And maybe that's why he's so sad. So the solution is to get more perspectives in the mix, right? So you want to get Hervé's perspective on my work. You want to get Rita's perspective, Mudo's perspective as well. And that's the general concept behind a 360-degree review. That I would suggest my peers, people that I work with in the office, and they would also review me, and that information would go to my manager, Edu, and that would make him very happy. Now, I'm going to show you guys how the app actually works. As a user, Rita's going to take over and show you from the manager's perspective, and then Mudo is going to speak about what we learned and what we would do next, if we were moving into the next phase of this project and had more time. So, and then as well, after the demo, Rita will show you how we built it. We are deployed on Vercel, and if let's say we're in a review cycle, all the pictures are very accurate, as you can see. Wow, what an old picture of me. How did that get there? So our idea behind the app was like, right away you should see exactly what you have to do. Very clearly, I as a user, I log in and I see, okay, I have to nominate people to review me, and then I also have these people who have nominated me. Wow, whoa, I didn't know you cared. And then I'll also have to review Yulia and myself. The self-review is just as important as the peer reviews. So let me take care of my nominations. I think I really want to know what Herva thought working with me, and you know, someone from maybe outside the team. Let's grab Natalie's perspective as well. And there, my nominations are complete. Great. And then I'm going to write a quick review of Yulia. Fantastic chef. Naturally, in the final product, the manager would be setting these metrics, but we just have a random assortment. Not nearly enough crime, honestly. Very, very upstanding citizen. So I'll submit my review of Yulia, and since this is a demo, I know Yulia's password. Now as Yulia, I can log in. Fortunately, no one's reviewed me, but you can see here, Yulia had nominated me. That's why I was able to review her. And let's also write Yulia's self-review. I think Yulia would be a little hard on herself, you know? I don't think, think she's a perfectionist. Okay, and now I'm gonna hand it over to Rita to show you from the manager's perspective.
I would log in as Olga, since she's the manager, right? Let's see what Olga's manager panel looks like. So in the manager panel, Olga would see the nomination page. In here, she only sees the people that are her managers, right? And you have it differently, the touchpad scrolling thing. Okay. I was like, why is this moving? You know. So in here, yeah, you can see the complete list. And for example, if you can on hover, we have a tooltip, which is great. So you can see, you can get it the person from the photo, but you can see it's Julia, and like she already nominated 3 people. That's why it has a green circle around, and this is the review phase. And you can also see if it's like 3 green circles, it means that all the people already reviewed Julia. And I'm the manager, I'm Olga, so I can already write a report for Julia. Here it is. So in here, Olga would see, like again, all the reviewers. The chart is all the information submitted by other people. And based on that information, now Olga can review Julia, which is like the final report that would go to Julia. So, how did Julia do on cooking? Need a program, fantastic chef, not just like me. Great, just great, fine. Crime, not enough crime. Should be improved. Coding, still not sure if she learned how to code. And we submit it. So, now, if I was Julia, I would want to see my report from my manager. And here it is. Julia could only see the final report, which doesn't include like the peer reviews, right? Just the manager's notes. I think that's all for the doing, right? So now I'll briefly walk you through our tech stack. The only thing I want to mention before that is that the choices we made were based mainly on like educational purposes. We wanted to try something new. So the choices we made are not the best for, probably not the best for this app. So our client is built using Next.js and React. It's also important to mention that it's Next version 13 because it's pretty new and we also had to learn it. Our styles are done using Tailwind CSS. I think everyone knows what that is. And also we use Shadcn, which is a UI library that gives you some components that you can easily install, and what is more important, then you can configure them like for your needs. So they're easy changeable. As for the database, we used MongoDB and Mongoose as the ODN library. And as all of us already worked with RESTful API, we wanted to try out something new, so we chose GraphQL. And yeah, also our project uses Turbo repo, and it is containerized in Docker. This is the architecture of our app. So basically, as I said, the client is in Next.js, Next 13, and we have our server managing the communication between the database and our client. And the communication goes with GraphQL. So basically, GraphQL queries is the language that our server speaks to the client and back. In the client, in the Next, we have some components that are server components, and some of them are client components, which is also new for us. And yeah, we just wanted to practice that. And what I could say about the server components is that, like, you would usually use a server component if you only need to fetch the data, and like because it fetches it before rendering, and it has caching, so it's faster. And client components are basically all the other components that should be interactive. And I think Muda would speak about the lessons and future work.
So I wanted to touch on the lessons and future work that we gained and want to work on. Lessons were like a big part of what we were going to do. Thanks for citing. Learning parts, we had to compromise a lot of things that actually happened because of the communication. And if we didn't communicate, we didn't really learn from each other. And through the communication, we noticed that things are going smooth, and then our collaboration got better, and then we started pairing up, and we are updating each other on what we are going to do next. And we basically while compromising, we're also adapting to each other's coding style or work style. And this helped us grow up in a way that made us better programmers and communicated. And also we want to emphasize on the massive port killers, because we are the massive of port killers, because we had to kill a lot of ports. Next slide, please. Thanks. So for the we have a lot of besides the learning curve, we have still a lot of refactoring from GraphQL to design. We want to get out of the Shadcn library, and we want to have our own library. And again, with the routing, we can name better routing names, use a different system. And also for the features like error handling, loading and layout. I guess we kind of made our own handling, error handlings and layouts, as opposed to using Next.js feature. This is something that we want to actually look into. And also we also have to get this caching from the Apple client, and then kind of save the bandwidth. So refactoring is still it works when we get back to it. Next slide, please. So for features, currently our app can handle only one cycle at the moment. But we like to have it handle more than one cycle at a time. For example, a manager can look back at old cycles or previous cycles, Also, like right now the app is working for only app.dev school, but we like to like, incorporate like other apps or like, make it more like reusable in terms of like, you can name your own company, basically. Also like you can also, we want to add this feature also like where you can like make your company management. And as we are getting greedy and stuff, we want to make like some money off of it. So we're planning to like add this payment plans in the future. Not always stakeholders, you guys. So yeah, next slide please. And thank you. I'd like to thank everybody here, and I'd like to open the floor to the questions. That's me.
So she asked, she said that she saw Apollo Client on our tech stack slide, but I didn't mention it. So, like, what is Apollo Client then? So Apollo Client is a tool that was supposed to make our lives easier, like because we were new to GraphQL, and with the Apollo Client. Apollo Client has a really nice playground, first of all, so you can try things. It's similar to Postman, I'd say, and yeah, that's a cool thing. Apart from that, I don't think we actually benefit that much from Apollo Client because it had a lot of. It took me a lot of time to install Apollo Client because it is. For the next 13, it's not stable, and we still have some problems. Not problems, but some questions with like caching stuff, and so yeah. Basically, Apollo Client is like a middleware between the GraphQL and your app. So the question is like, does the peer reviews like actually influence the manager's review/manager's report? Because I gave lower marks, you said, than the peers, right? So yes, like the idea is that the manager should see 360 review on that person, like from all the peers, but still the manager should have their own opinion, right? So it could be lower, but yeah, the idea is that you see all the grades from all the peers and like as well as comments from them. So based on that, you submit the final report.
Don asked. We mentioned that we like prioritized educational outcome in the technologies that we chose to use. So what would we have done differently, basically? Or what alternatives would we have used? I'm not sure exactly what alternatives we would have used off the top of my head, but I can say like, well, I would be curious to try a just fully Next 13 based app. I think with the size of the project right now, like the way that it works is, so Next 13 is a client and a server like running as our front end. I can explain that more if someone wants to ask about it, but and then we have also have a separate backend where we're running our Apollo server and we're receiving the GraphQL requests and we're accessing the database. But you can just have your application entirely running in Next. I think for the purposes of this project, like what we created up to this point didn't necessarily need to have a whole separate server. It would have been interesting to just work in Next and see how that works. But in terms of like, if we're thinking about scaling it, I think it's fine to stick with GraphQL. Sorry, I started this question feeling like I had the answer, and now I'm sort of thinking about it as I talk. Yeah, I think Mongo was a big choice to go for educational outcome, like a non-relational database. I don't know that it was necessary. I think we would have been just fine using Postgres, but it's like we all knew Postgres, we all knew how to use Prisma. None of us had really implemented Mongo and Mongoose in a project. So I probably would have stuck with a relational database. I think like Rita mentioned with Apollo,
it's ironic, like it almost would have been better to not use Apollo also for educational outcome. So I think then we would have had to implement our own way of understanding GraphQL instead of using someone else's API. And then, because there was just a lot we learned midstream about, like, we were like, why is GraphQL making our life so difficult? It's supposed to make it easier. And we had a session with one of our project stakeholders who came in more experienced and picked a lot of it apart and really helped us, but that was also like moving into the third sprint. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, everything's trade-offs, right? Like we could have started and built our own parser for GraphQL, but how much time would that have taken out of the rest of our project? I don't know. Sorry, I know that was a little all over the place, but I'd love to talk about it more with you after. Like, there's a lot we could say.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay, well, I will try to keep it short. We have some friends waiting actually on the beach for beach volleyball already because of, I don't know, some questionable decisions on the planning side. But okay, let's go over the feedback. I'm going to start first with the details again chronologically, okay, on what happened on the presentation. So right, the presentation, like the design of the presentation and everything is like it pulled you in. Yeah, it's great, it's very beautiful, and the demo was absolutely delightful, like period. Yeah, it was like very nice to see all these things. I'm going to go more at the end of the presentation. I have the end of the feedback. Again, like I saw the logos, no, and it's like the diagram, yes, but then you explain the diagram, so it's like you can mix both and then just put the diagram. And also, as a comment, in the diagram, I was missing the backend. There was no backend in there. It was like directly the database. So I would recommend like to put the database aside and then put the server. The server is implementing GraphQL, and it also like the interface. I really like the arrow, the connection is very well placed, GraphQL, yes, but it also, you have to put the server that is implementing like GraphQL as well, right? Let's say that the API is the GraphQL schemas and the queries and all these kind of things, and the backend itself, the business logic, happens on the resolvers. Yeah, but that's the backend. I'm going quite fast because I'm on the on the half of the comments. Right, you are going to notice now that I'll really go into the response of the questions, yeah, that you were receiving. Like for example, what kind of technologies, and then you were talking now about the if to use Next.js as the backend, and just get rid of the actual server. So yeah, that's quite a valid point because there's like huge discussion right now in the industry, starting from a video that I was like seeing the other day about one influencer, like YouTuber on PHP, an expert on PHP, saying like just fucking ranting about React and Next.js, that we were like all wrong and that's actually going nowhere, and why you're going to go with something that is not as well prepared as Laravel and everything. And like, let's say that he was saying like the opinions were fair, were technically correct, yeah, like you cannot like try to compete with a Next.js and I don't know, like Ruby Rails or Spring or Laravel or all these kinds of backend frameworks. They're like big, like they have like a lot of features, but I thought you're completely missing the point here, right? And it was noticeable how the influencer didn't have any fucking idea of what Next.js was and what was meant to be and what not. And that's like a personal opinion that some of the, as you can see, YouTubers don't share. Yeah, that is like Next.js is not meant to be a backend framework. Yeah, like a full backend framework. Like talking to the database. Stop doing that. No, don't go for the database. Yes? Like Next.js, the Next.js server is meant to be as a BFF. Yeah? Like a backend for framework, from frontend. My God. Backend for frontend. Okay? Never like the final backend. At least not now. It's not prepared. Yeah? So I think it's fine for this project. You would like to try, but you're going to refactor in the future.
But you can see, like, I started saying maybe we could do that, and I was like, well, no, actually, I think it was good what we did.
Right.
You know?
So no. It's like it's fine. I just wanted to like put in like this. I think that it's like a discussion that is going on right now in the industry. It's like it's not like you don't know, like as a student. It's like actually you all are like hitting like a pain point in the industry right now where people is fighting, right? So and a lot of people don't have much idea about. Right, Postgres over Mongo. I think that that would be actually a good decision. Yes, seeing the kind of relationships and the kind of things that you're like retrieving from the data. Maybe then another thing, but not to optimize in advance, is that maybe in the future that's going to be something like Postgres and Mongo. So you are putting the Postgres for all the relationships, and then the reviews and the reports and all these kind of things are like documents that are like shipped for archive. On this thing that would look like a professional architecture, yes, but not now, not now. Like I think that now maybe if we had to start this again, maybe Postgres and the document for archiving that will come later. Yes, everything on Postgres now. So, and also like commenting on the last answer that you were giving was that I was missing. Like I think we had like a great insight during the group project that it was like talking about Apollo or talking about other technologies that I don't remember which ones, but it's like sometimes we tend to go for a technology, Apollo, right? That because it's going to tell us how to work with the technology, and we're missing the point here. Yes, it's like actually it's like I don't know what is the analogy that they used, but it's like I don't know, going with a Formula One, so it's going to help you go through the circuit, yeah. And it's like, well, can you please go with just a normal car first, right? So usually you pay the price later. Yes, and I think that you noticed. Although we'll see, because actually the playground was quite nice. Okay. Okay, so that's it. But again, I'm going to come back to the generics. On the demo, yeah. And when I was very happy to see that demo, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like very surprised to see what I see. And I don't understand because I was seeing you working, and I was working in the project not so many days ago myself, like trying to see what was happening here and there, and I didn't see any of what I saw today. So congratulations, because that was like a lot of stuff, yeah, and I was not expecting that. So that was absolutely amazing. That was absolutely amazing, and I'm going to say something that applies to your group, but also to the other group, yes. But after having seen like what we saw today, yeah, I don't know. What I don't understand is like how can you're not like absolutely excited to do like this kind of things that you're doing. Like I don't know if I'm using the right words, yeah, but I think that you understand what I mean, yeah. You're able to do like great things. You just have to put like, not the time, not the effort. You have to put the soul, yeah, the objective, the intention. You only have to put the intention, and these things are really. I got really fucking goosebumps, and I'm not saying this for the cameras or anything. Like I really got goosebumps on saying like that was quite advanced, and that can go places, like literally, like this one, because also I was a stakeholder. I want to adopt this thing, like we have to talk now on how I'm going to make a fork, and actually the main fork that's going to be the adult dev. I have already thought, so you have nothing to do with it. But so we have no decision on this. But still, it did some work. Still, don't get that motivated. But it's nice. It's something that I can see. I don't know, using. So congratulations. You should feel utterly proud. Okay, so congratulations. And that's it. Like continue a little bit for the rest. It's like I think that we saw quite good level. Yeah. I mean, quite some amazing level, but also an app that works, an app that is like product. Yeah, in the same sense like we were saying with your presentation on the solar project, Esther. Yeah, it's small, but it works. Yeah, and it's completed, right? So I think that this should serve as motivation for this, to put the intention. Yeah, and intention will bring anything else. Feel like that motivated that you should feel to go for these things, and you're going to start going faster, and you're going to start like doing things like Logway, better quality, and basically, so whatever is your objective, no, you're going to start shipping products. Okay, it's the ultimate goal. I don't know if within a company or as a startup or anything like that. Okay, but it's just a matter of intention. I don't know, introspect a little bit, see what this is telling you, and put the time, put the effort in order to go for this. Okay, congratulations for the time and for the effort. I know that it was not easy sometimes. So even more congratulations. So good job.